So hello everyone, this is the Sports Show podcast, and today we're joined with Dee Walsh. How are you, mate? How are you, Dee? You alright?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
All
Thanks
good.
for having me on, man.
Brilliant,
Thank
mate.
you.
No worries. So what got you into boxing first of all?
Well, it's a bit of a long story, but I'll try to cut it short. Well, my older brother was in the boxing, and he used to teach me how to fight in the house. And then I got in a bit of trouble when I was about 11 years of age, me and a couple of mates. But then I ended up getting put in curfew. So what happened was another friend of mine, Roy Dalton, he said to me, "Why don't we join a boxing club?" Which was St Agnes's at the time. And then ever since I started it, then that was it. Then
Yeah, and of course you've had a good amateur career as well, and then you went professional. Do you think that helped you because you had a good amateur career? It made the decision easier to go pro.
yeah. At the end of the day, like one thing about me, I never boxed in international competitions like Europeans, World Championships, or Olympics. So at the same time, I always wanted to do it when I was younger. But at the same time, looking at decisions internationally, maybe would have put me off boxing altogether if I had done that. When you see some of the crazy decisions in the international stage, so at the end of the day, I'm happy enough with my amateur career. At the end, I won the All Ireland's, All Stars Anthems, and stuff like that there, and beat people who I never thought I would be able to beat. And towards the end, so no, I'm happy enough with how my amateur career went, and yeah, it did make it easier. Because I boxed at elite level for a few years, that it was easy because it was ready for the pro game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then after that, obviously you went pro. You made your pro debut. You won. You were undefeated, and you fought for the BEI national title. How did it feel to get your first title
Mm-hmm.
under your waist?
Well, I actually won a title a couple of fights before. I remember it was like a don't even think they do them anymore. British International Masters title. Excuse me. Something like that. There they called it, and I can remember when I think it was 21 seconds. So I won that title, and I think I was my seventh fight. I'm near sure, but it was good to win the Irish professional title as well. Um, it's good to be national champion pro and amateur. Do you know what I mean? So I think I could have done a lot more, but at the same time, happy enough with what I did.
Yeah. And then after that, you quit boxing then through mental health issues and stuff. And it must have been bad for you then, if considering you had to quit boxing fully.
Sorry, what was that down there? Just knocked off for a wee second there.
No, no,
Sorry.
that's all right. So you quit boxing then after that for mental health issues and stuff. So it must have been bad considering that you had to quit boxing.
Well, I will. The whole like mental health issues, like it was never like I was. I would say that I would have been. I would have suffered with depression a long time ago. Feels like a long time ago now. Um, but at the same time, I'm glad things went the way they went, and now I'm a coach. I think this is what I'm meant to be in life as a coach, rather than a fighter. And I was actually talking to a wee lad there, Jimmy Ritchie, who he had to stop boxing at 14 years of age because of he got a bleed in the brain. And I'm saying to him that you'll probably come in contact with a lot more people and choose a lot more people's lives as a coach than you would ever do as a fighter. Like so yeah, I'm happy with the way things went in
Yeah,
terms of packing boxing and becoming the coach.
yeah. And because you quit boxing for a while, how long was it before you got back in the ring then coaching?
I stopped boxing in 2015, end of 2015, and then I started put my say started coaching, helping out coaching around about 2017. But then it was near enough a year before actually proper getting into coaching again. So more or less, I'd say about 3 years altogether, and then obviously I haven't looked back since then.
Yeah. And now you're a boxing coach up at Gleaan Boxing Club. So overall, what's the experience like up there? How is it as a club?
The boxing club, it's brilliant. Like, say, at the end of the day, um, everybody in there, one of the main thing you have to have of training there is I have to like you first, because at the end of the day, it's my job. So I don't want to be around people who I don't like. I'd rather have someone who come in who I liked and who wasn't any good, rather than someone who was a world beater and who I couldn't stand every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a great atmosphere. I went to a guy called Damien Hughes took like a sports psychology seminar a few years back, and he explained the importance of a culture within a club. He worked in Man United and Barcelona. He wrote a book about Barcelona called The Barcelona Way, and he was in the detail about the culture of the club, and the way things can go this way, whatever. And I think the culture in our Boston club is actually very positive, and long may it continue as well.
yeah. And I had to ask, what's the secret of a Gleaan Boxing Club? Because the amount of unbelievable fighters coming out, professional and amateur, for the likes of big Paulie McCrory and Colm Murphy. What's the secret?
Um, they're all like I had to say they're all pretty professional, inside the ring and outside the ring, and especially when fights coming up, then the Uppbeat match, do you know what I mean? And Pody McCrory, like me and Pody go way back. Me and Pody grew up with each other, and I know me and Pody box with each other who lives, and I know Pody inside and out. I know back in the day when we were growing up, Pody didn't really have the discipline or the desire to really want to be champion, but now that's totally changed. They just showed that he always had the talent, but he never really put it in. Do you know what I mean? And but everybody always knew how good Pody was, but it's just that Pody never really wanted as much as he does now. So you're starting to see how talented Pody is, and Murph was in Gleaan, and Murph's in a different Boston club. You're going to get the same intensity no matter where he is. But I think we're more or less, well, there's other gyms popping up nowadays, like professional boxing gyms, but there was John Breen's and there was almost nobody for a long time. Reagan, he had a professional boxing kind of camp for a while, and then he went off and he started doing his own gym, his own public gym, Treb. But then we were the only ones there for a good winner and or for a good while. So I've been able to gain a lot of experience within a few years that we were basically the only professional boxing gym in Northern Ireland, would you say? So no, it was good to get that experience, and we're able to produce even more champions than what we did beforehand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And still on the topic there of Paulie McCrory, what a fighter. He fought there a few weeks ago on Conor
Mm.
Boxing's card, won by knockout, and now the Conor Boxing there won the bid for the EU title. How big is this for Pody? What's it gonna be like for him?
It's amazing. I remember Pody like, saying a couple of years ago that he would just like to even just fight for your European title, the one, especially the one that Lewis Crocker was fighting for, the WBO European. But I was saying to him then, like I thought he was more than good enough to the fight for European title. Um, and if anything, it looks like if he wins this here one, then he's going to push even more and hopefully get a world title shot, which would be absolutely unbelievable because Pody didn't turn professional until his late 20s, and so he would be an amazing example to anybody who, for example, who loses, especially kids, for example, when they get beat, they want to pack it in. Pody would be an amazing example to people like that if you just stick at it and keep firing away and keep working hard, that you could actually end up with a world title shot, European title shot, or even a world title at the end of it, gentlemen. So it's great that Conor boxing won the bid. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's looking like it's going to be around about October.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. I was talking to Jamie, and he was saying about October time because they have a few different shows coming up. Maybe one down in Galway, trying to get more up here as well. So we'll have to see what happens. Um,
Mm.
so
Well, I think personally that Pody would I think a European title deserves a show in itself, in my opinion, in Belfast, because you've seen yourself when you were at the show. Everybody loves Pody in Belfast, and he was in my opinion, him, Tom McKenna, and Murph were the three most entertaining fighters in it. So I would dare say that it will go down well with the crowd if he was to fight for European title in Belfast. But look, if it's Galway, and it's just the way it goes. And we'll have just it's winning the title at the end of the day, whether it's in St James's or whether it's in Galway or Cork or Dublin, whatever. Just as long as we win the title, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and I think anyway, no matter what, the atmosphere would still be incredible for Pody fight. But now we'll move on to Colm
Mm-hmm.
Murphy. What a fighter as well, still so young. Now the BUI Celtic champion. What's ahead of Pody because or not Pody, sorry, Colm because he still has so much ahead of him.
Well, see, but Colm, one thing I would say is he probably needs to take a bit of a rest because he's basically been in training camp now for over a year. He started training with us around about June 2021, I think it was, and he hasn't stopped training at all. And Murph is the type of person you would have to kind of calm down. When there's other fighters, you would have to try to G up and try to motivate them to train, but Murph's not that type of fighter at all. So at the minute, Murph probably needs a bit of a rest or just not to take it down a notch or two. But what the future holds for Murph is what's up this manager, Mark Dunlop. Um, Once he gets a fight coming up, then we'll start notching up a wee bit. But for now, I would actually like Murph to just take a wee bit of a rest or just take it down a notch or two, do you know what I mean? Because he's a brilliant talent. He's Sarah, he's only 22 and he's got his first professional title already. So if Murph keeps putting it in the way, putting it in and coming on the way he's coming on, God knows where Murph could end up. He's a brilliant kid, so is everybody in the gym loves him.
Yeah, and finally before we go, in a few weeks we have Triple O, Owen O'Neill and Conor Quinn fighting on Mark Dunlop's his sort of promotion, we'll say, and they're fighting. How hard have they been working for this fight, both of them?
Well, Conor Quinn and Owen haven't stopped training. I'd actually say Owen hasn't really stopped training since back in the first lockdown. We were training the Mary Peters trap because we had nowhere to go. There was no facilities for us to train in, so we were training the Mary Peters track. He hasn't stopped training since then. So basically, 2.5 years he's been training flat out, and Conor Quinn ever since he's come back from Australia. They've both of them been training together because they have the same conditioning coach, and obviously I'm their boxing coach. So he's been training, but they've been training twice a day, almost every day, since as I say, for I'd say over a year and a half now. So they're more than ready. If them two were to fight tomorrow, they'll be ready. If they had fought a month, or if the fight was a month ago, like they're a month's time, it doesn't really matter for them two. They're pretty professional, especially Conor. What Conor's been through, and in terms of his license and stuff like that, there's nobody I would know would train the way Conor has trained. But that's a long story. We'll get in there another time. But I'm really looking forward to Conor having his home debut because he's absolutely amazing. Conor is really going to set the place alight. Like whenever he gets going, everyone's going to be talking about him.
Yeah, Dee, thank you very much, mate, for coming on. It's been a
That's a bit, man.
episode. Cheers. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.